This is Optimal Living Daily, episode 57, Unconventional Productivity by Babauta of Zen Habits.net.
Get ready to maximize your potential with Optimal Living Daily, the podcast that brings you the best in personal development and productivity every day of the week. Your optimal life awaits. Now here's your host, Justin Malik.
Hello, fellow life optimizer, and welcome to Optimal Living Daily. This is a podcast where I team up with the best bloggers on the planet and get their permission to read their content to you. Why should you have to sit down and read a blog? This isn't the 20th century anymore, so that's why I'm here. And today I'm back with a fairly short post from Babauta of Zen Habits.net. It's Saturday, if you're all caught up in listening to this in real time, and that's when many of us tend to slack off and not get things done, so what better day to read about productivity? But before I jump into it, I'd like to take a moment to share a public service announcement on behalf of all podcasters really, or at least 90% of them who don't have real sponsors. The ones that don't have ads on their show essentially aren't getting paid for their content, so we're always hoping that our listeners will help us support the show. So if there's a podcast that you love and that doesn't read ads to you, I'd recommend visiting their site or even contributing to their show if you're in a position to do so. And for this podcast, if you like the content, you can join my weekly newsletter, which comes with multiple gifts and giveaways. All you have to do is text the word optimal to 44222. And if you want to take it up a notch and contribute, you can visit me online at oldpodcast.com. I greatly appreciate all forms of support, and that allows me to keep reading you content every day of the week. And on that note, let's start optimizing your life. Unconventional Productivity by Babauta of Zen Habits.net. There isn't a productivity guide in the world that will solve the problems that pretty much all of us face daily. I'm the same as you. I face these obstacles to getting stuff done. Number 1, doing busy work instead of important work. Number 2, going to distractions instead of doing difficult work. Number 3, being tired and not feeling like tackling hard tasks. These are all really the same problem. When you have important but difficult tasks to do, you run to distractions or do busy work or just goof off because you don't have the energy. I deal with this every day and I don't always solve it. But what if we could dive into this problem and figure out what was going on? We'd be masters of the universe. Pause training. In truth, we face this problem of running from discomfort all the time, but we just don't normally see it happening. This is why meditation is such a great training ground for the mind. You sit there and have nothing to do but notice the mind running from the discomfort of the present moment, over and over, and in time, you learn how to work with this. So I suggest you use your important tasks as meditation training so that you'll learn to work with the discomfort that arises. Here's how. Number 1, pick one important task you really should get done today. Number 2, clear space in front of you to do this task. Close the browser or all browser tabs except the one you need to deal with this. Shut off your phone, clear everything else away, focus your mind on this one task. Number 3, sit there and do the task. Number 4, watch your mind want to run. Now we're going to do pause training where instead of running from the discomfort, you pause. Breathe. Turn your attention to this discomfort. It might be fear, frustration, uncertainty, self-doubt, tiredness. Drop your story about this discomfort and just notice how it feels physically in your body. Where is this feeling of discomfort located? What quality does it have? You'll notice that the discomfort actually doesn't feel that bad, even though you habitually want to run from it. It's just energy. It's not actually good or bad, but just energy that's in your body, one that you normally don't want to have and normally judge as bad. Try this pause training for yourself. It won't work to just read about it, you have to work with it. Get to know it, become intimate with it. Unconventional productivity. Once you've started to work with the discomfort, you'll see that it's no big deal, nothing to worry about. It's just a feeling, just energy. You'll relax a little around it. Try to develop a friendly attitude toward it instead of being harsh on yourself. Just notice, just smile, just breathe, just be gentle. How do you turn this no big deal into productivity? Here's a system to try. Number 1, set your 3 most important tasks, MITs, every morning, first thing when you start work. List a few other should-dos after that, but focus on the MITs first. Number 2, pick one of the MITs and clear space to do it before you check email. Number 3, do some pause training. Notice when you want to run from this task. Pause. Investigate the physical feeling of discomfort with gentleness, friendliness, and curiosity. Number 4, set a heart intention. When you relax into the discomfort and see it's not a big deal, set an intention around the task. Are you doing it to improve your life, to do something good for someone else, to help the world? Find the heart in your intention. It's ultimately coming out of love. Say to yourself, quote, "It is my intention to do this task out of love for blank," end quote. Fill in the blank, yourself, someone else, the world, etc. Number 5, work with love. Open your heart and do this task with the love that comes out of your intention. Notice when you're feeling discomfort and want to switch to something else. Relax, do pause training if you need to, and then start again. Number 6, take breaks. Every 10 to 15 minutes, get up and walk around. Stretch, drink water, check in with yourself and see how you're doing. Then return to the task or pick another MIT. You won't be perfect at this, so don't expect perfection. Just work with it gently, and you'll get better and better with practice. You just listened to the post titled Unconventional Productivity by Leo Babauta of Zen Habits.net. Thanks to Leo for that nice and quick post to help us with our productivity issues, especially on weekends. And I'll be honest, my productivity isn't great on the weekends, and doing this podcast can get really irritating at times. Like the last time I was recording, my throat was just not having it. Like I needed to clear my throat every 2 sentences. It's a little bit better today, but still struggling. And last time it was a huge pain, and I needed to record to be consistent with you guys. I mean, what would you think if all of a sudden there wasn't a new episode? That'd be scary, right? So I pushed through despite wanting to leave because it was my most important task of the day, my MIT, and finally got it done. As enjoyable as podcasting sounds, many days can be taxing and frustrating to say the least. Luckily, I did get a couple emails with some nice comments, which reminded me why I do this in the first place. And on that note, if you'd like to keep me sane, you can show your support in a really easy and free way, and that is to simply subscribe to my weekly newsletter, where I give you some quick life hacks and tell you what's going on in my life in bullet point fashion. Plus, you're automatically entered into giveaways and you get some free gifts. You can join by texting the word optimal to the number 44222. And like I mentioned earlier, if you're in a position to contribute to keep the podcast alive, you can do that at oldpodcast.com. And you'll definitely hear from me after. If you can't contribute at this time, no worries. Just stay subscribed to the show and join the newsletter, and I'll be a happy camper. At least until I run out of money. All right, that's enough pleading for today. I'll try to limit that in tomorrow's episode, which will be Silver Sunday again already. That week flew by, so I'll see you there where your optimal life awaits.
You've been listening to Optimal Living Daily. Be sure to hit the subscribe button to stay up to date on each new episode and head to oldpodcast.com. That's oldpodcast.com for a free gift as well as more actionable tips and resources to help you maximize your potential. Thanks for joining us, and remember, your optimal life awaits.